compound, we will understand the characteristics of compound. So what do you mean by characteristics of compound? As we understood, all the compounds contains atoms of 2 or more elements which are combined chemically in fixed ratio by mass. Okay, any compound will form if the elements combine chemically in a fixed ratio by mass. In a fixed ratio by mass. Okay, that only we have seen already the formation of water and formation of sodium chloride. The second characteristic, that is they are pure and homogeneous. All the compounds are pure and homogeneous. Hita, what do you mean by homogeneous? Vidya Prerna, what do you mean by homogeneous?
Ma'am, shall I tell, ma'am?
Yes, yes, Suhanur, you can say. Yes, Suhanur, what do you mean by homogeneous mixture?
Ma'am, parts of elements or compounds are of same kind, ma'am.
Same type. As I have given example, the mixture of sugar and water, the particles are not visible anywhere. So you can see the homogeneous. It looks like same. So we can say it is a homogeneous mixture. So compound is a pure substance and it is a homogeneous mixture. Means if you will see the air, not air, don't take the example of air. If you will take the water, can you see where is the hydrogen in water and where is the oxygen in water?
No, ma'am.
No, we can't see. So constituent particles is hydrogen and oxygen, but we can't see hydrogen and oxygen into the water. So that is why it is called as homogeneous. Its property is homogeneous. Okay, and compounds has a definite melting and boiling point. All the compounds has its own definite melting and boiling point. All the compounds like water, what is the melting point of water?
0 degrees Celsius.
0 degrees Celsius. And it is fixed value. It is a fixed value, means water melts at 0 degrees C. And what is the boiling point of water? What is the boiling point of water? It is also fixed.
100 degrees.
Yes, it is 100 degrees C. It is 100 degrees C. Yes, very good. Like not only water, but all the compounds, it has a fixed melting and boiling point. It has a definite melting and boiling point. And all the constituents of a compound, all the constituent, like constituent means what? Means water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So the constituent of water is called hydrogen and oxygen. Like sodium chloride, what is the constituent of sodium chloride? What are the constituents of sodium chloride?
Sodium and chlorine.
Sodium and chlorine, very good. So the constituent of a compound from which it is made can be separated by only chemical methods. Okay, you can't separate hydrogen and oxygen from water by your hand or by any physical method. You can't separate. Then how will you separate? You can separate by the chemical methods. You can separate water by the chemical methods. Okay, are you understanding the characteristics? The characteristics are compounds. First characteristic I told, that is compound contains 2 or more elements combined chemically in a fixed ratio. So number 1 is fixed ratio. If you can't remember the whole sentence, then you just remember fixed ratio. Okay. Number two, the property of the characteristic of compound is it is homogeneous. How it is? Homogeneous. And you know the term homogeneous, what homogeneous is? Okay, it is pure and homogeneous, pure substance, and we know pure substance is homogeneous. Number three, compounds have definite melting and boiling point. Okay, what is definite melting point and its boiling point? Okay, now number four, the constituent of compounds from which it is made is separated by only by the chemical methods. The constituents constituents of compounds can be separated how? By only chemical methods. No, you can't separate it physically,
Yes.
only by chemical methods.
Ma'am,
Okay.
when water is evaporated, it is physical change, no, ma'am. The water will convert into hydrogen and oxygen.
Then if you are evaporating the water, are you getting hydrogen or oxygen? You will get water vapor. You won't get the hydrogen or oxygen. You will get the gaseous form of water, but you won't get hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. So here I'm asking the constituent. Constituent means hydrogen oxygen is the constituent, but you are evaporating the water, then water converts into its gaseous form. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Chetan, it is clear now? So evaporation of water, it doesn't mean you are changing the, because if you will in a closed container, if you are evaporating, after the condensation, you will get the water back. If you will collect the water vapors, you will get the water back. So there is no any chemical change. It is a physical change. And here you are not getting hydrogen and oxygen separately. You can't separate hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Hydrogen and oxygen are the constituents. So you are not getting hydrogen and oxygen. You are just changing the states, means liquid state to gaseous state in water vapor. Okay, Chetan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Keep asking the questions. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, continue. So these are the 4 points that you have to understand. These are the characteristics of any compound. Characteristics of compound. What is the characteristics? First characteristic, Chetan, just speak. 4 characteristics of compound.
The
Okay.
compound
Yes.
can be separated by only chemical change.
Chemical methods, not chemical change, by the chemical methods. Okay, that is the 4th point. Okay, Vidya Prerna, what is the 3rd point?
Ma'am, a compound is a pure and homogeneous.
Okay, that was the 2nd point. Okay. Okay, another another one characteristic. Suhanur, another one characteristic of compound.
Ma'am, compounds are of
Compound is made up of 2 or more elements.
Okay,
Compounds
Sandesh.
are
Ma'am,
fixed
compounds are of only one kind, ma'am.
boiling point.
Okay, so
Compounds
basically
are of
you
one
have to
kind.
keep in mind these 4 points. You will get many points from these 4. Now let us see some example of compound, how compounds are formed. You can see here in this slide the forming of compound. As we can see here, sodium is an extremely reactive metal. And how much extremely reactive? You can understand, if you will left it open, it will catch fire easily. Okay, sodium, if you have seen any magic show, magician, what they sprinkle something in air and it catches fire, and we clap for that. We are thinking that it is a magic, but what they are doing, they take sodium in the hand and that's sprinkle the sodium. How the sodium means it comes in the contact with air, then it catches fire, because it is highly reactive, extremely reactive metals. Okay, it comes to the exposure to air. It just requires exposure to air and it start burning. Did you understand? You can see in this dish, sodium is there. Sodium, you can see the sodium. It is a soft metal. Even you can cut it with a knife. It looks like a butter, means butter or cheese, whatever you are using at home, na? Like butter, how you are cutting the butter? By using the knife. You can cut the sodium metal. We know all the metals are generally hard in nature, but the sodium metal, which is exception, it is very soft. You can use a knife to cut the sodium metal. Okay, and it is highly, extremely reactive. So how it is very difficult to store sodium. Then we store sodium metal into the kerosene. Do you know what is kerosene?
Yes, ma'am.
We are using for in a stove, gas, not gas stove, another kind of stove, which is which can be burned by the kerosene. So kerosene, the sodium metal is stored into the dip into the under the kerosene to protect it from the air exposure to air, because if it will come to the, if you will left it open, it will directly instantly it will exposure to air and it will burn, highly reactive. Okay, so forming of compounds, why what do you mean by forming of compounds here? What is the need to form a compound? What is the need to form a compound?
2 or more element.
Yes, two or more elements are that. Let us see some more examples, then you will answer. Okay, forming of compounds. Let us see. Now we understood about the sodium. Okay, now you just understand what is a chlorine. Chlorine, you can see in this glass jar, there is a chlorine. It is yellow color gas, which has a pungent odor. It is highly reactive and even poisonous gas. Chlorine is highly reactive and poisonous gas, okay, which is yellow in color. And this is what? This is salt. The compound formed from by sodium and chlorine is table salt. But we know table salt is not at all poisonous. Is it poisonous? If it is poisonous, how every day you are eating salt? So how why I'm showing this? To understand how much different is a compound from its constituent particles. The constituent is sodium. As we know, sodium, how it looks like? It looks like a butter, and it is highly, extremely reactive. It's come into the exposure to air and it catches fire. And chlorine, it is a gas, and it is highly poisonous gas, highly reactive and poisonous gas. But both the things combine together and forms sodium chloride, which is called as table salt, which we are using in cooking. Okay, and the properties of compound are in general different from the property of the elements that compose it. Means property of the sodium chloride is totally different from the sodium and chlorine. Is it? Did you understand? So forming the means whatever is the product, even we have learned in the previous lesson, chemical, physical and chemical change. What is that? So the property of product is totally different from its reactant. Here sodium is highly reactive, even if it catches fire in presence of air, and chlorine is a poisonous, but every day we are eating sodium chloride, which is not at all poisonous. So the properties of compound are in general different from the properties of the elements that compose it. So after the reaction, the property changes. Okay. Let us see. In a compound, the elements combine in fixed and definite proportion. That we have learned already. And who given this example? I'm giving some extra knowledge for you because something is not there in your textbook, but I added here some extra for your better understanding. It will help in your next class. So in compound, the elements combine in a fixed and definite proportion. And the which according to which law? This law is called law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion, and which is given by the Proust. Proust, he was a chemist, and he has given the law of definite proportion. What Proust had? Joseph Proust. The full name was Joseph Proust. Joseph Proust. So Joseph Proust has given the rule of law of definite proportion. Means only H2O will form when you will mix hydrogen or oxygen in the ratio of 1:8. Okay, this is called the law of definite proportion. It is also known as the law of constant composition. Both you can say, okay. One is the law of definite proportion. Otherwise, for same, you can say law of constant composition. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So In a compound, elements combine in a fixed and definite proportion. Set in your mind this sentence. And law of definite proportion given by Joseph Proust. And law of definite proportion is also called as law of constant proportion. Constant means what? Constant. What is the mean of constant? Constant means fixed. Like you are in mathematics, you are learning pi. What is the value of pi?
Ma'am, 22/7.
22/7, or you can write 3.14. Both you can write. Is it? So
Yes, ma'am.
it is a constant value. Means if I'm writing here pi, it is understood I have written 22/7. You never can write 44/3 or something else. Means this value is constant. The value of pi is constant. That is the meaning of constant. So constant composition is very important term. I think till here everybody has understood. Now, chemical formula. Chemical formula, that we have to understand how to write a chemical formula. So we will continue this topic in our next class, because already time is over. So I'll show how to write a chemical formula. And today again I am going to send you one small homework. It will take only 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes you can finish that homework. And I'm expecting from everyone, each and every student, to send the homework before 9 p.m. today. Will you send?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.